Good afternoon, Mr. Jones. How are you today?
I'm doing excellent. How are you, little lady?
Good. I'm Melissa. I'm with Terminix, and a little bit about us. We are a pest elimination company, and we also specialize in rodents, which, as you told me on the phone, that's something you're having an issue with.
Oh, the Terminix. We're having some issues with some rodents. We're seeing both sides, the big ones and the little ones, and I'm just, we saw them earlier today, so they're scaring my customers, and got to get this taken care of. So.
Big and little ones. That sounds like you have both rats and mice. That's important to know.
Okay.
And so, where have you been seeing them again?
Well, the big area is in the garage by the guys' toolboxes. So that's the big area. But over time, we've started seeing them slowly creep into the office area where my customers are sitting, and that's where we saw them this morning. And although we don't carry any food here, it still is just not a good thing to have inside your store. So they scare people, and I just don't want them here.
Right. We don't want them scaring our customers either. So how long have you been seeing them? Is it a new issue?
Well, yeah, it's sort of new. It's been happening for about the last month, sort of whenever we started getting our cooler fronts. They've started moving in more, but we've always had an issue in the garage. But it's just now moving into getting a little worse, and we've got to do something. So.
Okay, we'll definitely take care of that. So have you done anything in the past to take care of them?
Yeah, well, we had your competitor out working, and they've from what I understand, this is one of the things is the communication's poor. Then we've also had they came out, and I know they've set some traps, but I'm very unhappy because we haven't really seen any improvement in the issue. And so I've called them about 5-6 separate times, and they'll come out and set a couple traps here and there, and then we're just not seeing any improvement. So I want to get this taken care of. What we've got to do, we've got to do. So let's, we need to get it taken care of so we can stop freaking out the customers.
Okay, well, we'll definitely get you taken care of. Do you mind if I do a short inspection to see where they're coming in and where the issue actually lies?
Absolutely, I appreciate it if you did.
Okay, well, I will be right back, about 10 minutes. Okay?
All right.
Okay, Mr. Jones, I'm back from my inspection. I did a quick look around your building and inside your building, and there was a couple of issues that I did notice, and I see why you're having your problems. Okay. So first I want to mention that you mentioned that the toolboxes were the main place that you were seeing your rodents
That's
every
correct.
day. Okay. Your technicians, your employees are leaving out food over there. I don't know if that was something that you knew.
No, it wasn't. I didn't know. I go in there every so often, but usually not in that area of the warehouse.
Okay. Well, we're going to need to make sure that food isn't left out, because that is something that the rodents they're feasting on.
Okay.
And that's part of what's drawing them in.
Okay.
Okay, and also over here where your toolboxes are, we do have a hole in your siding and in the side of your wall, and so that's how they're getting in.
Okay.
Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to seal that up. There is a brick that's loose. We're going to put that back in, and we're going to put mortar around it, and that's going to be our exclusion work. Okay. And so I also know that you asked me about the office because you said you were having issues with the office.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that you're having problems with the office is partly because of the hole that you have in the wall, but also you have the door that you're leaving open. And so if you close that door, you're going to have less problems in the office. Just, I know you have to open the door because you have to let people in, but whenever you're not using it or whenever you're in there, just close the door and it'll help keep them out.
Okay, I see. So you're just saying they're coming into the warehouse and then into the office, correct? Through that open door. Yeah, we'll make sure that gets closed.
Okay, that's good. We had the hole over here, but also on this side of your warehouse we have another hole,
Okay.
and we would do the same thing. We would replace the bricks. We would do the mortar. We would make sure it's sealed up on the inside.
Yeah, it's just an old building, so it's kind of falling apart. So.
And that's understandable. That's okay. We can take care of that. And then there's the AC line that does have the opening around it, so
Okay.
we'll just seal that up just like the rest of it. Now the issue is we have garage doors,
Okay.
and I assume that you leave them open quite a lot.
Mm-hmm. We do.
That is something that we can't take care of. We can't, if you're opening the garage doors, they are going to be getting in. But what we can do to try to take care of that, we can try to get them while they're on the outside of your building so that they don't actually come in. So we're going to put 5 bait stations, and you can see where I've put them on your graph. We're going to put them on the outside, and so what that does is there's a bait on the inside, and the rodents get in there, they eat the bait, and they die.
Okay.
And most of the times they're going to die outside of your building.
Okay.
Now, if it does happen that they get inside and they do die on the inside, what we would do is we would come in and we would find them and we would remove them, and we would put an odor remover in there so that you wouldn't have that odor in your building.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Okay. And so the last thing that we would do, we have sticky traps, and they have a hormone on them that attracts rodents. And so it's not going to be the cheese and
the snap trap.
So we would put the sticky traps, and we put them in concealed areas where customers wouldn't be able to see them in case they did catch a rodent. And so we would put them, say, under the desk of your employee or behind the toolbox where nobody would be able to see them.
Okay, so kind of in out of the way areas. I gotcha.
Exactly. So that's basically all of your problems. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I guess my big question is what's the cost on all of this? Because this is sounding like a lot.
It's a very good question. Okay, so the costs are broke down into 2. You have your initial cost, which is going to include your bait stations, your initial sticky traps, your exclusion work, and so that's going to come out to $365.
Oh wow.
That's a one-time charge. Then each month you're going to have a $60 charge, and what that'll include is we'll check the stations, check the traps, we'll rebait the stations and put new traps out, and look for any more problems in areas that you're having in case one was missed or there becomes a new problem.
Okay. I guess my second concern is I'm really concerned about that price. Is there anything you can do, veterans discount or anything, because I'm trying to run a business here and we can't have the mice. I really want to see if there's anything, any discounts or anything that we can do on that initial price. That's the issue right there. I understand it's got to be an ongoing thing, but is there anything you can do on that initial if I sign today?
Yeah, we actually, I understand your concern. It is a pretty high price, but just need to understand that is a one-time price. You're not going to have that price anymore. So if you sign another contract next year, you're going to be signing one this year for the $60 a month. And then if you sign one next year, you're not going to have that charge again. But what we can do is on that first-time charge, we can take $65 off. And that is under the condition that you do sign today and that you do the monthly service.
Okay. Okay, that's sounding a lot better. That's a lot more in budget. Okay, so second concern is like I said, with Orkin, we were having some communications issues, and so I want to see if there's any way I'm not always here. I'm not always in the warehouse with the guys, and so I want to make sure that whenever y'all are doing your thing, taking care of my critters, how do I know that y'all are we're making progress. How are you going to stay in touch with me?
Okay, the first thing, do you have a manager who we can talk to in the store when you're
Yeah,
not
we
there?
always have an assistant manager, but once again, it's one of those things that this is kind of more through me. The assistant managers, they're great people, but they're not me, and so I want to have, if possible, all things directed through me on this issue until we get it under control.
Okay, yeah, I understand your concern. I mean, with your past problems with communication. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a direct line to your technician, the person that's going to be coming back out and retreating. And so you will be able to contact them at any time, and if you leave them a message, they will get back to you. But if you do find that you have issues and you just can't get a hold of your technician, we have an office number. You can call them. And if all else fails, I'm going to give you a number to me, directly to me. And if you have any issues, you contact me and I will get them taken care of. I will make sure that you're taken care of.
Well, that sounds good, because I didn't have any numbers for anybody on my last service. So, okay, I think I'll go ahead and bite on your deal. It sounds like everything's covered on. We've covered our bases on the warehouse and the office. So, I guess the last thing is, when can y'all start on the actual work?
Well, we can start any time that you want. Starting tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, whatever is good for you.
That would be perfect. As soon as possible, we need to get this taken care of.
Okay, I will send, if you can just sign right here, we're going to get you started.
Sounds good.
And then I will set that up, so we'll have a technician out to take care of your problem first thing 9 o'clock in the morning.
Perfect.
Now, will you be here to talk to the technician?
I will. I will be here.
Okay.
So I'll make it a point to be here.
Okay. So we'll do. I'll get him all this information, and I will make sure that he'll do another run through. And if you'd like to go along with him and look at the places that he's taking care of, you can do another inspection with him, and he can show you all of those issues and how he's taking care of them.
Sounds great. I appreciate it. Very nice to meet you,
It was
Melissa.
nice to meet you. You have a nice evening.
You too.